Hey, welcome back to the Crown Era. In this video, I wanted to just share with you a question that I received about how to communicate your new needs, even when people still see you as the old version of yourself. So, let me tell you quickly and easily, you want to do this softly, but you want to be firm. That's first and foremost. And what do I mean by that? I mean, when you know that you have outgrown the old version of yourself and you want new things to come into your life, and therefore you have new needs and new desires that you want to be able to not just manifest, but receive from other people as well as God, the universe, then you want to ask with softly but firmly. Say, for instance, one of the needs for yourself is more alone time while you're in this crown era. While you're thinking about things and you want to process through your intuition downloads that you're receiving, and you haven't really received this type of fast paced information from your spirit, from your gut in a while. You need time to journal. You just really need time for yourself for reflection, and you have people in your household who are used to you doing, everything. When I say everything, the cooking, the cleaning, the bills, the housework, all the things. And you are at that point where you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. And I need help, support, or you need something. That is your biggest desire because you know that you need time to be with you, yourself, your soul evolving life force, to figure out and to get more clarity on what your next steps is so you can evolve into this new version that you're not quite sure what it is. That's one example. So when you're speaking to a spouse or your children, you want to remind them that whatever they think you are no longer that. You have to say that you're transitioning out of that phase, out of that role, out of that identity, and you want to let them know that you may not quite be sure what new identity you're having or what new role you'll be persisting in, but whatever they want you to do, you just have to start saying no and let them know that you can do something else, or you will have to find a way for someone else to fulfill their need or their desire or what their expectation is, because your expectations now are on you, your excellence and what you want to do. And this communication sometimes will have to be repeated over and over. And as a crown woman, as your midlife, and you know that you're moving in this transition, you don't want to falter and want to go backwards. Once you set that new desire and boundary up, don't go backwards, because then they're going to expect you to continue to do it. And they will bring it up. They will say, well, you did it last week. Why you can't do it this week? And so I'm just forewarning you, when you make those new decisions, when you communicate what you will do and what you will not do, don't go backwards. You do have the right to change your mind. Yes, you do. We're women, we're human, you have free will. But if you truly want to invest in that new version, that new intent that you're trying to communicate with other people, that is that's that's chef's kiss. Don't go backwards. Another thing that you can do, especially if you don't know how to communicate to a lover, a friend, or whomever you're trying, a boss. You may not want to do all this extra work and not get paid for it. Not your because your time is more valuable. You want to leave on time. You don't want to be there after hours. And because when you work multiple hours, you lessen your salary. The more time you there, the smaller your salary really becomes. And you have to put your boundaries up. You either have to ask for a raise for the work you're doing, or you have to leave when you're supposed to leave. And and it's one thing about being a team player when you're having a particular project, but when you make things are consistent, you are giving yourself a disadvantage, and you're disrespecting your time and your energy and your family. Or even if you don't have a family, you're disrespecting yourself in what's possible for you to do. because you're not volunteering for work. You get paid for a job. Another scenario is communicating it to yourself. A lot of people don't communicate their new boundaries to themselves. They communicate it to other people, but they don't communicate it to them. I like to communicate new boundaries for myself, one through affirmations, what I will and will not do. I try not to be negative in affirmation, of course, but I also like to do that through mirror work, through journaling, and just reminding myself that my word is my bond. And if I'm lying to myself, then I'm lying to everybody because I am the sole proprietor of my desires, my goals, my needs, my wants. It is my actions and my belief systems, whatever those are for me and whatever those are for you, that you have to do. So you have to communicate to the old version of yourself and say, I don't do that anymore. That's not me anymore. And you reconfess who you are and what you will do, especially when something comes up. Let me think of a quick little example. Say you're trying to I don't know why addiction is coming up, but say you're trying to quit vaping or smoking cigarettes or drinking or just anything that you know has a hold on you to a certain degree. You stopped it and then you either smell it or you see somebody else do it and you have that craving and you say, "Oh, just that, let me I'll just do it a little bit. I'm not going to do it again." If you truly want to end something, quit it, then you don't go back. There's no little bit of anything. And that's when you say you've quit something. Like I've been saying that I've quit fast food. So I have not had McDonald's, Burger King, all of those particular things. I haven't had them in almost a year because I did 75 hard last year and I'm currently doing 75 soft and I've maintained not eating fast food. But one day I almost had well, let me go back. So I have not purchased fast food, but I did have a few fries from my daughter who had Zaxby's. And so I wouldn't say I was guilty, but I reminded myself, Angelina, you weren't supposed to have that. You can have fries, but I consider Zaxby's fast food. So I cannot no longer do that because see, that was a gateway into saying, oh, I had little fries. Let me go get some more, or let me go get something else. So I know that I have to communicate more to myself to say, no, Angelina, you don't eat fast food. That is a non negotiable now. You go to the grocery store and you get something quick if you're hungry. You go to Target and you get something quick if you're hungry. You buy food that's been made at the store quickly or some fruit or something like that. Fast food is not really food. It's fast something. It's fast junk. So yeah, that's how you communicate to other people and to yourself that you've changed, especially when the old version of you is trying to rear its head back up to you. And yeah, so that's it. That's all, you guys. That was just my quick question for the day, if you want to call it that. I wanted to answer that because that was a question that I received. And I'm Coach Hunt. If you don't know, I'm a holistic self love coach that help women navigate and have the best life ever, whatever that means to me. I mean, or whatever that means to you. Also, when I'm navigating my life, it's always meant to me. And I do have an offering for you if you're willing to have a self love refill. It's a ritual and also has some somatic practices. It just reminded me of my somatic work today as I was rewatching some videos of my certification because I'm also a somatic intimacy coach. I don't do a lot of it, but self intimacy is very important to me. And I'm thinking about doing a course on that. And if you're interested in possibly having self intimacy and owning and learning your body more through self love and intimacy, put that in the comments. I would love to hear if that's something you guys are interested in your crown era. Knowing that, like right now, I'm abstinence. I've been abstinence for 5 years because, well, I'm not going to be with anybody who doesn't want to choose me, point blank, period. So, That's it. That's all. I love you guys so much, and I have your greatest interest at heart. Bye.